I would love to focus on sale. Do you have some tips, advice to be more powerful when you sell something? Let's imagine that um, I will come to I will go back to the United States and I want to sell my sell speeches
Mm-hmm.
to CEOs, for example.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I want to sell speeches to CEOs. According to you, what can I do and how can I learn to be impactful when I do that?
Okay, so we're assuming that you're going to be the salesperson and that you're going to sell your speeches to the
Right.
CEOs. So the so there's two things I would be doing simultaneously. First of all, I would get a sense of what CEOs I want to speak to, right? So I would do some market research to discover who are the CEOs that I want to speak to and why do I want to speak to those CEOs. Because the tighter, especially if you're developing that skill, the narrower your target, the tighter your focus, the faster you can develop the skill. And then again, you can expand the range once this initial skill's developed, right? So you want to sell your speeches. You have a good sense. If you're up there speaking, you've got speeches, you have a good sense who you are and what you're about, right? You're clear about that. Never leave that spot, right? Never step out of your clarity about who you are and what value you're contributing. That is your base of power. Power is a result of clarity and congruency and commitment. So clarity, congruency, and commitment give you personal power. Once you're standing in your power and you're clear about the targets you want to hit, right? So that's the internal game. I want to talk to this CEO because this is the kind of organization they run, which tells me that they must be aligned philosophically with my message, or at least in very close range. And I know they belong to this organization and that organization, and they donate to this charity, and they, so you do the research, right? So not only who do I want to speak to, but why do I want to speak to them? What is the value I believe I could potentially contribute to them, and why do I think they have an ear to hear me? All that tightens your message and gives you that clear, direct line, right? Because you're being who you are, talking to who they are about how you could come together and create exponential value.
Great. So during you sell, you ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
What kind of questions do you ask?
Well, one of the primary questions I always ask is what I just said. Where are you trying to get to? Where are you now? And what's standing in the way? Right? Because that's the whole game right there. And if I'm reading you accurately, one of the things that you're really good at is building a bridge between where somebody is right now and where they want to go. Right? So you don't walk around with a magic wand bestowing self-confidence on people. You don't have that power. But what you do have the power of is teaching people how to find a place in them and then build that out into where they want to go. And that bridge is self-confidence. That's the exact same process that you use in, actually that's a brilliant sales process right there, right? Who, as a salesperson, what's your goal? Where are you right now? What's in the way? How do I build a bridge between where you are and where you want to go? Or with a company, with an organization. And so whatever you tell me the obstacles are, then I'm going to ask more questions. It's not like there's a certain set of questions. It's whatever questions let you get clear about that you're sure that you're in agreement about where they want to go and that where they want to go is possible. And you're in agreement about what some of the obstacles are. When I say agreement, I don't mean you agree, yeah, that's an obstacle for you, but that you're clear that you both understand this is an obstacle, and that understanding is the same understanding, because you can't fix a problem they don't know they have.
Yeah.
Right?
So you ask the company or the CEO what obstacles you have to, and why you not maybe it's not why you don't succeed in that.
Yes, why you're not moving as fast as you want to move, why you're not able to move at all. But here's the key: the lens you're listening through is what makes the difference. So you spoke earlier with Paul Lemberg. The lens he listens through is strategies and tactics, right? He'll listen for the strategies and tactics and things that can get moved and shifted because that's his gift. That's what he has to contribute, right? You would be listening from a different lens. You would be listening for in what way are the obstacles he's describing really a matter of self-confidence and personal power on the part of his employees. And the reason that you have to stay, remember I said you have to stay firmly in your own power base and in the clarity in who you are and what you're offering? Because when you're listening through that lens, you're understanding whether or not there's something you can contribute. Here's the biggest fallacy about sales. A sales conversation and a sales process is not designed to get a yes. It's designed to discover whether or not there's mutual benefit and get a clear answer at the end, whether it's yes or no. So when you're listening to that CEO describe the obstacles through the lens of how does what I, David Laroche, how can I contribute and clear some of these obstacles? If you don't see a way, then it means you can't, and they're not the client for you. And no sale is a good outcome.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, I think so. So you have their goal, you have who they are now, you have obstacles, and you have some links about what obstacles they have and what you can do for that. How do you close it? Close the sale? Yeah. How do you do that?
Okay, so after I've taken a clear inventory, and by the way, in the question asking, I'm making up words now too. In the question asking, you are not only get data mining for information for you, right? But you're also asking the right questions that open doors in their own mind. So when I'm asking questions about their goals, I want to understand their goals, and I want to keep asking questions until they start talking about the goals that hit an emotional response, because I need them to be emotionally connected to what they say they want. And I need to be assessing whether or not they really want that. Because again, it's impossible to, just like it's hard for people to be confident when they have no clear goal, they're not going to be motivated to take action because they have no clear goal. If you have a CEO who says these are the outcomes of the results I want, and there's no emotional attachment to it, it's just reading the laundry list, it's going to be hard to get them to make a decision, which means yes or no on the sale. And even if you got a yes from them, it'll be almost impossible to get them to create any change in their organization because they're not emotionally attached to what they say they want. So part of the questioning is to get them to emotionally attach to that which they say they want. So when I say we're both agree that this is the goal, that means we're both clear, yeah, I really want this. This really is the result I'm attached to. So then when we're asking the questions about the obstacles, we're finding out which are the ones that are really have the emotional attachment. So then when you get to the end of it, first of all, if you've asked good questions, and your questions are seeding the ways that you can help, it's almost a no-brainer at the end. Then it's as simple as, okay, if I could show you a way to get this and eliminate that, is it something you'd be interested in doing? That's question number one. Do you believe there's a way to do this? If they say yes, they believe there's a way to do it, then the second question is, do you believe I'm the guy that can help you? And that's where having stood in your own personal power the whole time pays off in spades. Because it's not enough for them to believe that this can be done. They have to believe that you are the guy that can deliver it.
So you ask that?
Totally.
Do you think they can say no?
Absolutely.
It's okay.
And if they don't believe you can do it, why would you want to work with them?
Yeah.
That's a hard mountain to climb. And I've made those mistakes. I have been building sales teams and turning around struggling sales teams and working with business owners and entrepreneurs for 25 years. I have done my share of tilting at windmills. And I can tell you that while you can still go in there and produce a result, it doesn't last after you're gone if you didn't have complete buy-in from the beginning, right? So I'm as good a salesperson as they come, and I can go in there and sell my services. And I can then make something happen. But I know that once I leave, things will backslide if I haven't shifted the person at the top along with me, if I haven't shifted the organizational culture along with me, if there isn't really buy-in from top to bottom, that this is where we want to go.
Great, I love that.